Siyanamukela abafundi baka grade 12 ohlelweni lwe-Ithala Edu Platform. Ithala, iphendukani kanye ne-Go Digital SA Foundation bajabulela ukunethulela izifundo ezengeziwe ukunisiza kuba niphumelele kwizivivinyo zenu enizozibhala maduzane nje. Sinothisha abanethulela izifundo zika grade 12 zonke izinsuku kusukela ngoMsombuluko kuze kube yiSonto. Zithokozeleni lezi zifundo, nisithumelele imibuzo lapho nidinga khona usizo.
Grade 12 sanibonani ngomgqibelo ekuseni. It's me again, umama uSibiya uNtombi. Since English again, English first additional language, but for today we are going to be doing paper 1. Paper 1 wethu it is language, actually it's comprehension, summary and language. Paper 1 wethu is 80 marks. 40 it's 80 marks, yes. 40 marks is comprehension, 10 marks is language, which is 50, and then 30 marks is language. Today we'll be dealing with a comprehension and summary. I just want ukuthi nginike ama tips ukuthi uphendula kanjani question 1, especially mawubuza kwi comprehension. Comprehension yethu njengoba 40 marks. The first thing that you do mawuthola iphepha, kukhona lento esibiza ngokuthi is-skimming. You skim through the passage. Yini konje ukuskim? Ukuskima uyabheka nje ufunda usheshise, awuconcentrate, uyafunda uyasheshisa. The first part is uyaskima, and then after awukakabhali lutho, and then awususkimile bese uyaskena ke manje, what we call scanning. When you scan ke manje is when you read ke manje with concentration again. Shuthi usufunda ngokwesingaki okwesibili. And then after scanning, usubheka ke ama questions. Why ubheka ama questions? Because uzothi mase ufunda okwesithathu usufunda ke manje ukuthi uyaphendula. Uzobe usukhumbula ukuthi okay, konje ngeke ngabona question ethi how i-answer ka question 1 nansi la ku paragraph 1 ngiyalinganisa, or i-answer ka question 2 how nayi la ku paragraph 3 ngiyalinganisa. So musu ukuthi uthola nje iphepha ubufunda okokuqala usuyabhala. No, first skim, just read through. And then after skimming, you scan. So ufunda ke manje with concentration, keeping in mind ukuthi mawuqeda ukuskena usuzoya ke manje kuma questions. Read the questions uwaqeda. Awabi maningi, mhlawumbe aba u6 or 7. And then ke third step usuwenze njani ke manje usuyafunda ke with concentration, usuyathola ukuthi okay, question 1 awunansi i-answer yakhe ku paragraph 2 ngiyalinganisa. Okay. Then usuyaqala usuyaphendula ama questions. I-comprehension yethu ke yanamhlanje ngizozama ukuthi ngiyifunde nje yonke, but I'm not gonna skim and scan. Ngizoyifunda nje, and I hope nawe uzobe ulalele or uzobe uyibona. Okay, ithi ke comprehension yethu, not so sweet after all. Okay. The thought of a cupcake, skillfully frosted with fluffy vanilla icing, may put a smile on your face. In a new study published in Scientific Reports, a link has been found between common mood disorders like depression and a diet high in sugar. Sugar in its natural form is found in fresh fruits, vegetables, and milk, while added sugars are found in sweet food and beverages such as cakes and soft drinks. Other processed foods, such as tomato sauce, also contain added sugar. Many people consume double and triple the amount of added sugar than they should. The World Health Organization recommends that people reduce their intake of added sugar to less than 5% of their total energy intake. Could there be a link between high sugar consumption and a person's mood? Research published in 2002 examined the link between depression and sugar consumption in 6 countries. Researchers from Baylor College found that higher rates of refined sugar intake are associated with higher rates of depression. They found that 1 in 6 people worldwide suffer from a common mood disorder. In 2011, researchers conducted a survey on a group of participants who ate factory-baked foods. It was found that those who ate mostly factory-baked foods had a 38% chance of developing depression compared with those in the group with the lowest intake. A few years later, researchers studied the association between sweetened beverages in a large group of people. They found that sugar-sweetened and artificially sweetened drinks or diet drinks could increase a person's risk of developing depression. A 2015 study of nearly 70,000 women found that there were higher chances of depression in those people with a high added sugar intake. However, this was not the case for those with a high intake of naturally occurring sugars, such as those found in fruit. There is still no absolute certainty about what causes depression, but some researchers believe that biological changes are at the root of this mood disorder. Some of these biological changes could be influenced by sugar and a sweet taste. For example, a study in rats found that diets high in sugar and fat can reduce a protein that influences the growth and development of nerve cells in the brain. This protein is thought to be involved in the development of depression and anxiety. Furthermore, another study using rats suggests sweet foods could be as addictive as cocaine. Addiction is, in itself, associated with a high risk of developing a mood disorder. Ongoing research suggests that mood disorders could be linked with inflammation in some cases. High sugar diets can also worsen inflammation, which results in low energy levels and a reduction in one's ability to concentrate. This may contribute to feelings of depression. Finally, sugar intake could be the cause of other health problems, such as obesity, which itself is related to mood disorder. But these associations could also reflect a reverse effect. Low mood could make people change their diets. They choose to consume sweet foods, which soothe negative feelings in the short term by providing a mood boost. Low mood and anxiety could make simple tasks such as grocery shopping or cooking so difficult and exhausting for the sufferer that they might start to avoid them. Instead, they eat junk food, takeaways, and ready meals, all of which have a high sugar content. Despite these research findings, a number of questions remained about whether sugar leads to depression, other mood disorders, and illnesses. What is certain though is that cutting down on sugar is a good idea. Nizwile ke grade 12 ukuthi ukudla izinto ezisweet is not so good after all, because ugcina sekubanga ukuthi nawe usuyagula. Itopic yethu ithi not so sweet after all, which means ushukela, the sugar intake is not good. Niyawathanda ama-junk food, niyakuthanda ngempela ama-junk food, and ama-junk food agcina esekulida to obesity. Siyazi ukuthi obesity yini? Obesity is when obesity is to gain more weight. Gain more weight. Uze ungabusakwazi. Abanye, I've watched this channel, channel babhalo my 16,000 LB life. Uthola ukuthi umuntu akasakwazi ukuhlala without eating. Fanele adle uyazibona ukuthi uya expanda, uyaqhubeka, but uyadla. Okay. Lana ke we are talking about thought of a cupcake. Sawazi ama cupcakes angithi ma cupcakes amnandi, sometimes they are creamy. Njengale abayishoyo ukuthi it's skillfully frosted, shuthi ihlotshisiwe ne fluffy vanilla icing lapha paragraph 1, but mangabe uyidla it even puts a smile on your face. Okay. But again ibisikhoza usuyidlile yes, but uzogcina usufuna ukudla more and more and more. Bese bethi ke lapha ke i-sugar is fine if uzoyithola in fruits, but sugar in its natural form is found in fruits and vegetables and milk. Kodwa bese bethi ke added sugar ke bese suthola ke kuma beverages. Now wathanda Coca-Cola, Fanta, bani ama soft drinks. Bese nithanda futhi ama processed foods njengo tomato sauce, which also contain added sugar. But ke kule comprehension, what happens mostly is that once you have consumed all this, you are likely ukuthi ube nama mood disorders. What is a mood disorder? Yini mood disorder? Umuntu uvela be irritable, usecasukile, usediniwe. The next thing ushone efridgini, uvula isicapha sefridge, uyadla, and then agcine senjani isethi fall into depression. Yini depression? These days people suffer from depression kakhulu, and uzothola ukuthi i cause of depression iqale lapha edleni, in the way that the person eats. Consume izinto ezisweet, khona lama energy drinks esenothanda kakhulu, or drug or no bani. Those energy drinks they contain a lot of sugar. Ogcina usubanga ukuthi ube obese, ube nama mood swings, and then you fall into a depression. Bese siya lapha ku line 10. Line 10 uthi the World Health Organization recommends that people reduce their intake of sugar to less than 5% of the total energy intake. So it's better ukuthi ungazidli izinto ezinoshukela because reduce your intake of ushukela because lokho kuzokusiza ukuthi ungathi fall into mood swings, ungathi futhi fall into a depression. And then there is a rhetorical question lapha. Excuse me, line 15. Uthi, excuse me, could there be a link between high sugar level consumption and a person's mood? That is a rhetorical question. Say, kumbula ngithi rhetorical question kuthini? A rhetorical question. A rhetorical question. Rhetorical question is a question that is often asked. Is a question that is asked, but ayidingi. That is asked, but futhi ayidingi impendulo. Asked without giving a response, without the response. It's a rhetorical question because umuntu uyayibuza uyayiphendula. Uthi ke lo bhale this comprehension. Uthi, could there be a link between high sugar consumption and a person's mood? Kukwena uphendula. Uzothi yebo because of this and this, or because of this and that. And then research that was published in 2002. These people are speaking about facts. Manzo kumbula last week senza a discursive essay. Ukuthi a discursive essay is based on facts. Laba bantu bakhuluma ngama facts. They have done a research again here, but a research published in 2002 examined babheka ilink ukuthi kuyahlangana yini depression ne sugar consumption. Bayenza futhi le research in how many countries? In 6 countries. Uyabona ama facts lawo. Then there is another research again from Baylor College. Eyoqala ile ka 2002 ababefuna ukucheck ukuthi ikhona yini link between depression no sugar consumption. Okay. Nansi ke futhi yesibili, the research that was from Baylor College. But now what did they find out? They found out that higher rates of sugar intake are associated with higher rates of depression. The more you take sugar, uzofalla foot into a depression. But the foot facts abo, but they found that 1 in 6 people worldwide suffer from a common mood disorder. Yabona ukuthi lana it's not only based at Baylor College, but bathole research abathole ukuthi 1 in 6 people mhlaba wonke worldwide suffer from a common mood disorder. Nansi futhi enye research in 2011, but researchers conducted a survey on a group of participants who ate factory-baked foods. Okay, laba bantu badle ukudla okwenziwe efactory, okubhekwe efactory. Utholakaleni kulama researchers ka-2011 sekowesithathu lawo. Oqala beku 2002 kwase kuba iBaylor College, and then the third one ile ama researchers ka-2011 aba conducted a survey on a group of participants who ate factory-baked foods. Batholani ke bona? What did they find out? Bathola ukuthi it was found that those who ate mostly factory-baked foods had a 38% chance of developing depression, depression. Kusho ukuthini lokho? Kusho ukuthi ngempela it is not good ukuthi uthi consume a lot of sugar, because bathola ukuthi u-38% walaba abantu abekudla a factory baked foods, they had a 38% chance of developing depression. Beba comparison nababi, comparing, when you compare usuku kathanisa ngithi sakathanisa la izinto eziwu2, they were comparing them laba abedla factory baked foods no 38%, babe kathanisa nababi, they were kathanisa with those in the group with the lowest intake. Kushuthi laba ababengazange bakudle ukudla oku factory based. Okay, aqhubeke ke futhi ama researchers Ati, a few years later, researchers studied the association. Shuthi manje sebefuna ukubona ukuthi kuyahlangana yini ukuthi umuntu odla izinto ezisweet aphinde abe nama mood swings, aphinde athi fall into depression, because babefuna ukuthola ngempela ukuthi kahle kahle yini le ekhoza i-depression kubantu. But and then what did they do? Baqhubeka with their research. Bheka-ke lapha bathe a few years later, researchers studied the association between sweetened beverages. Sweetened beverages ilama drinks, ama fizzy drinks, njengo Coca-Cola, Fanta or ubani. The researchers studied the association between sweetened beverages in a large group of people. Bathola ini, what was their finding? They found that sugar sweetened and artificially sweetened drinks or diet drinks could increase a person's risk of developing depression. Uyabona ke ukuthi ngempela kushuthi la kuyatholakala ukuthi if you consume mawuphuza or udla a lot of things ezinoshukela, you are likely to fall into depression. Umuntu oku depression simbona kanjani? Akanandaba nalutho. It's like nje akasa exist emhlabeni, aka uhleli. Abanye they bahlale endlini. Uthola ukuthi umuntu akasavula amafastela, akasagezi. Nje that person has just given up on life. Akagezi, uvala amafastela, uvala namakhethini, akasafunda into ezom-associate nomhlaba. It's like mayiphumela ngaphandle, mhlambe khona into ezokwenzeka kuyena. And that person has given up on life, I may say. So you don't want ukuzithola ukuleso simo because you're still young. There's so much that you are looking for in life as when you grade 12. And loco, it doesn't apply to you guys as abantu grade 12. Everybody else, nathi sayithanda izinto ezisweet, but siyazi ukuthi they are not so sweet after all. Njengoba topic issue, not so sweet after all. Okay, but sebethi-ke a 2015 study lana-ke sebe specific bayenza with 70,000 women ngo-2015. Sekuyesinye-ke manje study yabothi ama-studies ethu ayaqhubeka because baqhubeka nale research. Ithi-ke a 2015 study of nearly 70,000 women, they found that there were higher chances of depression in those people with a high added sugar intake. Shuthi laba badla izinto ezinoshukela kakhulu batholakala ukuthi labo-ke their chances of depression higher. Basebethi kodwa-ke baphinde futhi baqhathanise. There is that lela gama eli conjunctive. However, this was not the case for those with a high intake of naturally occurring sugars such as those found in fruits. Kushuthi-ke but this research that they did with the 70,000 women laba ababe that were consuming izinto ezinze high sugar intake, kwatholakala ukuthi i-rate ye-depression yabo ayifani nalaba who took natural occurring sugars. Natural occurring sugars swathola kuphi? Swathola kuma-fruits, swathola obisini, njengoba kade bechazile ekuqaleni. So laba who took natural occurring sugars such as those found in fruits, i-risk yabo of falling into depression was low. And then line 30, but still, there is no absolute certainty about what causes depression. Shuthi kahle kahle abakatholi ukuthi yini i-cause ngempela depression. But some researchers believe that biological changes are at the root of this mood disorder. If something is at the root, it's where everything begins. Kushuthi, in other words, they believe with biological changes. Biological changes, some people, as we grow old, us as women, see biological changes where in of mid-40s or 50s, where you reach menopause, When you reach menopause, it's when you stop menstruating. Lapho ke kuthiwa thina ke we have these mood swings, these mood disorders. We become irritable, sibe nama hot flashes and all that. That is what they are talking about now. And there's still no absolute certainty about what causes depression. But some researchers believe that biological changes enzeka emzimbeni womuntu are at the root of these mood disorders. Some of these biological changes could be influenced. Again, uyangena ushukela la uyabona yini. But lama biological changes anga influence futhi by sugar and a sweet taste. Shuthi ke angazi ke because the more we grow older, the more we like sweet things. Mina my weakness is chocolate. Chocolate indlela ngikuthanda ngayo. Uyazi nje ngeke ngithi hayi ngizohlephula 2. Fihle mhlawumbe ngifake efrijini. Phinde futhi ngithi hayi ngizophinde ngihlephule 2 within a wink of an eye usuphelile wonke islab. So now I'm learning from this grade 12. Now I hope we are funda ukuthi please let's just cut down on our sugar intake. But again, for example, a study in rats. Sebenzeke manje ama rats la, amagundane. Shuthi amagundane laba wenze ama guinea pigs. Benze study ngawo ama rats. But benzeni la. But for example, a study in rats found that diets high in sugar and fat can reduce a protein that influences the growth and development of nerve cells in the brain. Okay. Kune protein la etholakala emzimbeni angithi uyayibona. But le protein yenza ukuthi develop ama nerve cells in the brain. But if you take a lot of sugar, then kwenzekani la ngithi bathela for example a study in rats found that diets high in sugar and fat can reduce that protein which influences the growth and development of nerve cells in the brain. Oh, kushuthi when you take a lot of sugar, kushuthi this protein iyadisturbeka. Bese bethi this protein is thought to be involved in the development of depression and anxiety. Uyabona ke manje ukuthi ke if usudisturbile this protein letha ama nerve cells kwi brain, if you take a lot of sugar kushuthi manje usuwenzeni usudisturbile isiyenzani ke kuwena ke manje, it is now involved in the development of depression and anxiety. When you're anxious, umuntu ohlale anxious, umuntu ohlale ethukile, uyaqhamazela, uyathatha, uyabeka, akahlalisekile, again nje umuntu ostable. So but again, what causes that? Because of this protein, or it is the wena by taking a lot of sugar. Bayenze kuphi le research, bayenze kumagundane in the rats. Bathole ukuthi oh, if you take a lot of sugar, then that protein is disturbed and then you fall into depression and you also fall into anxiety. Baqhubeke labantu beyenzile le research yabo. Bathi furthermore baqhubeka another study again using wona magundane using rats suggests sweet foods could be as addictive as cocaine. Cocaine bakithi siyazi ukuthi drug. Once people take drugs, they become addicted. What is to be addicted? Awusakwazi ukuhlala ngaphandle kwaleyo drug. Ngibona nje labantu bewunga. Ngizoyichaza nje iwunga because abantu bewunga uthole they find themselves sebeyantshontsha emakhaya and they start in the families. Bayantshontsha ekhaya badayisa izinto. Why? Because now they want to feed their craving yabo of because now they are addicted to this drug. But again, should furthermore another study using rats suggests sweet foods could be as addictive as cocaine. Should once you become addicted entweni noshukela awusakwazi uyiyeka usuyafana nomuntu odla ama drugs like cocaine. And the more you take sugar is the more uzokulidela ekutheni ugain weight and you become obese. But addiction is in itself associated with a high risk of developing a mood disorder. Yes, it's true. Because umuntu mayengayidlile drug yakhe, usefuna manje ukufida leya craving, akasayithole into ayifunayo, useshaya abantu, useba irritable, uselimaza abantu. Why? Because now usefole into depression, to mood disorder, because ufuna satisfy leya craving yakhe ayiqalile yama drugs. Iyaqhubeka ke kodwa research yalaba bantu. But ongoing research suggests that mood disorders could be linked with inflammation in some cases. What is inflammation? Inflammation, it has to do with mhlambe ulimele and then uba swollen or kunento eyenzeka emzimbeni wakho. But this disorder could be linked with inflammation in some cases. Higher sugar diets can also worsen inflammation, which results in low energy levels and a reduction in one's ability to concentrate. Once waba nale inflammation, even level yakho of concentration iyehla, because awusakwazi concentrate because into iqala kuphi phela, concentration iqala in the brain. Angithi sikhulume ngale protein abathe if ama-rats ethatha a lot of sugar iya-reduceka, shuthi nawe i-level yakho of concentration isinjani, isiyehlile. And then automatically, if ungasa-concentrated, you fall straight into depression. So ufana nalowa muntu kongasafuni ukwenza lutho, a person who's just given up on life. Akasenandaba even nangaye, ukuvuka nje ageze ubusa axubha amazinyo sekuyinkinga. Bese bethi ke lapha ku line 45, finally, sugar intake could be the cause of other health problems such as obesity. If you take a lot of sugar, values of obese, uzokhuluphala, which itself is related to a mood disorder again. But these associations could also reflect a reverse effect. In other words, lento isingajikeka kanjani, but low mood could make people change their diet. Umuntu mangabe mood yakhe isithe yehla yaba low, then angenza umuntu ukuthi i-diet yakhe ayishintshe because mood yakhe iphansi, utshela ukuthi hayi ngoba ngikhathele, ngizizwa ngenjani, abesethi yena ake ngiyiboost. Uyiboosta ngani? Ngalama energy boosts. They choose to consume sweet foods which soothe negative feelings in the short term. Or hey, uzoyidla phela into sweet, uzoyiphuza this energy drink, but izokwenza ube hyperactive for isikhathi esincane, but it's short term, by providing a mood boost. Kodwa manje lo mood boost yakho, it is short lived, yesikhashana esincane. Okay, base bethi low mood and anxiety could make simple tasks. Manje mawusunale low mood, usungena ngisho wenza igross, usungena ngisho ukupheka. But a low mood and anxiety could make simple tasks such as grocery shopping or cooking so difficult and exhausting for the sufferer that they might start to avoid them. Seqala ngisho kuyogross, sengana ngisho kwenzani engathi angalokho ehleli nje. Base bethi instead low mood uzodlana i-junk food. Ngithi usancane upheka, uzodla i-junk food. I-junk niyayazi i-junk, ama-chips, ama-burger, ama-pizza, bedla ama-takeaways and ready meals. And those junk foods and ready meals, they have higher sugar content. Okay, let's take the last part. Despite these research findings, a number of questions remain about whether usabuzakala ukuthi ushukela, does it really lead to depression and other mood disorders and illnesses? Okay, akekho umuntu owaziyo, but sebekubekile ama-facts, nawe sekuwena ukuthi uyayibonela ukuthi is it true. But what is certain though is that cutting down on sugar is a good idea. Ake sinciphiseni ke manje ukudla ushukela. Okay, sesi understand i-comprehension yethu. So I guess big my questions. My questions A2 ati question number 1 would refer to paragraph 1. Paragraph 1 wethu izokufundela nje uthi the thought of a cupcake skillfully frosted with fluffy vanilla icing may put a smile on your face. Okay, question number 1 uthi using your own words, not the words you or a quote from the essay. Now they want your own, and your own la is written in bold, in capital letters. In other words, for you to get lower 1 mark, and 1 mark because each mark counts with exam. But using your own words, state what kind of a cupcake may put a smile on your face. I-cupcake enjani ngenza uthi mawuyibuka nje once amathe uvela ube ne-smile. Okay, mhlambe enjani? Singasho ukuthi mhlambe a cupcake which can put a smile on your face. Number 1, it can be a well-decorated cake. Well-decorated. What do I mean by well-decorated? Angithi khona lezi zinto lezi abayifaka kuma cake, a well-decorated cake. Khona this laba ababhakayo. Try thousands. Thousands. Lokho okuhlobisayo. A well-decorated cake. It can be well decorated. Mhlambe ibe creamy, as well as mhlambe creamy. It's creamy as well. That kind of a cake can really put a smile on your face. Usungayibhalela ke nawe ke mhlambe any other thing, a type of a cake that can put a smile on your face. Bese kuthi 1.1.2. But choose the correct answer to complete the following sentence. The term sweet tooth refers to, we are choosing A tooth that is decayed, sweet tooth. B, a tooth that is false. C, craving for sweet foods. And D, craving for fast foods. When you have a sweet tooth, umuntu on a sweet tooth is somebody who likes izinto sweet. So, vele answer yethu la ka number 2 is C. C, craving for sweet foods. Right, 1 mark. So you just write. You don't have to write the whole thing. You can write capital, which is C. The answer is C. Okay, let's go to paragraph 2, which is question 1.2. Batilapa, explain the difference between sugar found in fresh fruit and sugar found in tomato sauce. Uyini umehluko phakathi kashukela otholakala kuma fruits noshukela otholakala ku tomato sauce? Bathe lapha usugar that is found in fruits is sugar in its natural form. Sugar found in fruits, otholakala kuma fruits, is ushukela that is in its natural form. There are no preservatives. Sugar found in fruits is sugar in its natural form. Is sugar in its natural form. Ihluke ngani ke kule that is found ngoba bathela I difference and it's 1 mark for each. Okay, otholakala kuma fresh fruit is just ushukela in natural form. There are no added things. And then ushukela basebethi ke what about that one that is found in tomato sauce? Okay, uzothi uyabhala ukuthi okuma tomato sauce also processed. Tomato sauce, it is processed. Tomato sauce, it is processed. Usu processed ke lo, shuthi ke usuna more sugar. So there is added sugar. There is added sugar. Okay. What does and then number 2, uthi, why does the World Health Organization recommend that people reduce their consumption of added sugar? Yindaba WHO ithi abantu abehlise ushukela. Okay, mhlawumbe uzosho ke lapha kuwena ke mhlawumbe uzosho uthi many people tend to double or triple by doublisha and by triplisha amount of added sugar than they should. People double or triple their sugar intake. And then mabenza lokho, it causes them ukuthi and then Batela, why does the World Health Organization recommend that people reduce their consumption of sugar? Because they tend to triple and double. And then when they triple and double, it causes them problems when they take a lot of sugar. And then number 3, 1.3, uti, code 1. When you code, remember, grade 12, mabeti code, when you code, you put the inverted commas. You get marks for that. But again, quote one word from paragraph 3, which suggests that mood is experienced internationally. It is worldwide. Internationally, it's worldwide. You have quoted or father, I'm a quotation marks up. Okay. Number 4, explain why researchers choose to conduct their study. Explain why researchers chose to conduct their study on factory-baked foods and not on participants who ate home-baked foods. Babenzelani le research ukuthi babheke ukuthi abantu abadle home-baked factory-baked foods uhlukene kunabantu abenze home-based. Babefuna ukutholani lapho. Ithini ke answer yalapho kwa 1.4. Mhlambe they wanted to be sure ukuthi ngempela there is a link between a high sugar consumption and a person's mood. Ukuthi umuntu mangabe edle more sugar izinto ezina-more sugar imood yakhe ibanjani. They wanted to check that ukuthi does that person odle ukudla with more sugar imood yakhe iyafana nomuntu who has taken ukudla that is normal. Number 5, explain why these statements are false. Diet drinks, line 25, but why false? Diet drinks, line 25, are good for your health. It is false. Why? Because but diet, they are good for your health. And it is sugar. I put these fizzy drinks, they contain a lot of sugar. So it is false because sugar or sweetened, artificially sweetened drinks could increase a person's risk of developing any depression. So it is false. It cannot be good for your health because if it causes depression, then it's not good for your health. 1.6, using your own words. Again, let's use your own words. Please, sebenzisa amagamako. Discuss the findings of the study conducted in paragraph and refer to paragraph 6. Using your own words, the findings of the study conducted in 2015. Kuthiwe lapha nge-study that was conducted in 2015. Let's go back. But a study conducted in 2015, nearly 70,000 women found that there were higher chances of depression in those people with a high added sugar intake. Okay, it's a question la. It's a question. Using your own words, discuss the findings of the study conducted in 2015. Okay, my findings. The findings were that women or people who take a lot of sugar are at a risk of developing or falling into a form of depression. 1.7. Refer to paragraph 6. What is meant by at the root? At the root meaning if something is at the root, it is a source of origin. At the root, the root of the problem is the source of origin. Shuthi into la iqale khona. In other words, it is the cause. Now you can bully cause and effect. Okay. Number 2, how are sweet foods similar to cocaine? afana kanjani ama-sweet foods ne-cocaine. Kuthiwa ama-sweet foods they can cause you ukuthi ube addicted. Ne-cocaine nayo ikwenza ube addicted. So kokubili it is addictive. Cocaine, no more sugar, it yenza ukuthi ube addicted. Okay. Number 3, in your opinion, should rats have been used? There is no right and wrong answer. Number 7.3. If babeti in your opinion, as long as you can support, lana aiki answer wrong. If you say no, in your own words, should rats have been used to determine the link between sugar consumption and mood disorder? Discuss your view. It's 3 marks here. 1 is can be yes for a mark, and then 2 marks is where you support using your own words. Lana but in your opinion, should rats have been used? Bebu write in Pasabenza Makundan. Ucheka a link between sugar consumption and mood disorders. You can say yes, or you can say no. You can say yes. People believe sweet foods would boost their minds, whereas there's a short. You can say yes. You go right with Basemen Samarets because they couldn't use human beings as guinea pigs up. Yes, go right with Basemen Samarets. Go by question it should rats have been used to determine the link between sugar consumption and a mood disorder? Yes, go right Basemen Samarets because in as much as ama-rats say animal engafani nabantu babe ngawasebenza and they could use ama-rats bawa-check bakwazi ukuwathema bawafake endaweni ethize and then they check ukuthi adle more sugar, are they more active, ayagijima, adle less sugar kuhamba kanjani. Or you can say no, ku-wrong ukuthi sisebenzise ama-animals. Abantu kufanele basetshenziswe, not ama-animals. Lokho-ke it's up to you ukuthi how to handle that question. And then number 8, the last question, uthi, refer to paragraph 8. Explain the meaning of they chose to ... a mood boost in the context of this paragraph. What is the meaning of they chose to, line 47 and 48? But explain the meaning. Ukuthi bachaza ukuthini line 47 to 48. They choose to consume sweet foods which soothe negative feelings in the short term by providing a mood boost. But explain ukuthi the meaning of chaza ukuthini lokho in the context of this paragraph. Okay. Ungayiphendula la kwi context paragraph uthi yes, people believe ukuthi sweet foods would boost their mood. With when they feel low, but maybe better something sweet, it boosts their mood. Whereas it is also short term. Then umuntu aphinda athi fall into depression again. Short term, and then the long term, they could even gain weight, and then they become obese. Consider the passage as a whole. Look at the fund. Discuss why the writer makes a reference to several research studies. Yinda benze ama research studies amaningi. Ufuna la ama research studies, it's been thorough. Shuthi la, this research has been thorough and it is also based on facts. It is based on facts. Akuyona hearsay. It's not hearsay. It's a research that has been done. The last question, discuss the suitability of the title. Not sweet after all. Not so sweet after all. Is it suitable for the title? Yes, it is. Because in as much as ushukela umnandi, but it is not so sweet after all, because what does it cause in your body? It causes a lot of depression, it causes illnesses, it causes obesity, it causes you ukuthi ungahlaliseki kahle, ungaphili kahle, because when you're obese izinto eziningi angakwazi ukuzenza. So kusifundisana la ukuthi ake siwalke, sigijime, sizivocavoce, for us to be able ukuthi siphile a natural and a healthy life. Yes, we are now done with the comprehension. And then lapha ke ku text B. Text B wethu text B kune graph lapha. I-graph yethu now there is a graph. Nala futhi kusakhulunywa ngani ngokudla. The biggest fast food brands, and there are millions of customers. Kuno Roman's Pizza, kuno McDonald's, kuno Chicken Licken, kuno Chisanyama, kuno Nando's, kuno Fish and Chips, kuno Dibonairs, there is Wimpy, there is Tutors, and there is KFC. And there is KFC. And there is KFC. Okay. Roman's Pizza una 163. McDonald's 200. Chicken Licken 240. Chisanyama 251. Nando's 380. 300. Fish and Chips una 330. Dibonairs 382. 497. Wimpy Tutors 509. And KFC 771. And then basebethi lapha ezansi, the top 10 brands have more than 3,600 fast food utilities. Then sineminyaka lapha 2009, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 2018 in millions. Then there is 26.7, 20.7, 23.4, 25.3, 26.5, 28.6, 29.5, and 42.0. Then base kuba nama pieces lawa epizza. Base bethi South Africa's growing hunger for food and fast foods. Kuna ama questions akhona ke, they are very short, 5 iphela. But which fast food outlet is the second lowest number of fast food stores in South Africa? Siyayibona ukuthi a second lowest McDonald's. We'll get to 1 mark. Number 2, what do the vertical bar graphs indicate about the purchase of fast foods from 2009 to 2014? There's an increase in the purchase of fast foods. From 2009, iyaqhubeka igraph iyaphezulu lapha ku 771. Number 3, why does the bar graph for 2018 appear in different shades to the rest? Ikhombisana ukuthi now ama figures have been projected. Aya lapha ku 42.0 isuka ku 29.5. Okay. Number 4, state why the figure 36 is written in darker and larger font than the rest of the figure in the text. Why ibhalwe kakhulu? Ikhombisana ukuthi the number has increased a lot. Number 5, explain why the illustration of pieces of pizza is appropriate to this text. It is appropriate because it shows that it is South Africa's South Africa's growing hunger for fast foods. Siyabonga grade 12. I will see you next week. Thank you very much.
Siyathemba nifunde kahle nasithokozela isifundo sethu sanamhlanje enisethulelwe ngezilokotho ezinhle Ithala libambisene neGo Digital SA Foundation. Thamelani ke futhi esilandelayo ngesikhathi sifanayo, ningakhohlwa ukumema nabanye abafundi bebanga le-12 ukuze nabo basizakale kulolu hlelo. Uma ninemibuzo noma nifisa ukuxhumana nathi, ningasithinta ngokufaka imibuzo yenu kwinombolo yethu ye-WhatsApp ethi 068 151 1072. Mfundi, ungakhohlwa ukubhala isifundo obuza ngaso ngaphambi kokubhala umbuzo wakho. Angiyiphinde inamba yethu 068 151 1072. Siyabonga.